Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gemma's Window. It's January 2020. Now, if you have followed the calculations in the box below or jumped onto my website at gemmaswindow@gmail.com and you have taken a gander and concluded that you are in a power year number 6, then you're at the right place. Now, when you determine your power year number, you only have to do that 6s once for the year of 2020. Every month, your month will change, but I will tell you what that is. So let's get started. If you are in the power year of 6, it means that you are in the month of 7. And let's review those numbers, and then let's go over some special days for you to mark in your calendar. If you're in a power year number 6, 6 is the most romantic year and concrete, making a relationship committed year of the entire series of years that you're in and of your entire cycle. So there is also the chance that you determine this year in 2020 that this person isn't for you, or it's not going anywhere, or not in the direction that you would like it to. But even that is a very positive thing because it allows you then to move on. Now, 6 is about relationships and about home and hearth, and so relationships can be across the board, where relationships with siblings, parents, people at work, old friends can be making shifts and turns. And, let's take a look at that while we look at the cards in just a moment. This month of 7 for you in January is about kind of holding your breath and your tongue and just waiting and watching and trying to determine what it is you really want this month from various situations. So, the reading that we're going to do today is the usual order of things. We're going to start with looking at business for you, 6s. Then we're going to move to looking at relationships for you. And then we're going to get to the best possible outcome of any question that you might have. We're going to take a look at that. Before we begin, let's take a look at some special days in your month, 6s. Let's look at the best days for romance for you. Those would be January 8th, January 18th, and January 27th. Very, very good. Those will be the most romantic days for you in the month of January. Now, if you're looking for a job or you're looking to make changes at work, or make any kind of plan concrete where you get a signature from somebody or a commitment, those best days for you will be January 4th, January 16th, and January 25th. If you are looking for, let's say, days of endings, let's say days where things can conclude for you or finally come to a culmination, those where you might like to end something with someone, those best days are January 2nd, January 12th, January 21st, and January 30th, okay? So that said, let's start shuffling these cards and see what the universe has in store for you, 6s, this month of January 2020. So for those of you who are working, let's take a look. Oh, that's the new relationship card. So let's see about that. So it looks to me as though there may have been some kind of shakeup at work, or there might be a shakeup coming at the workplace in the month of January, and it's made you anxious and it's made you concerned, and you're really not sure What does this mean for you? And what I feel like the cards are suggesting to you is that don't be hasty. You're in a month of 7, and 7 means just focus, take a deep breath, and try not to talk too much. Try to listen and just pay attention. Because I feel like there may be some changes or rocky roads or waters ahead at the workplace for you, that it's in your best interest to try not to get too involved or try not to say too much about it, and just wait and see what happens, because I have the Star card for your outcome, and that means that there's a very good chance that you will land on your feet, or things will be okay for you after all the turmoil has been said and done at the workplace. I'm going to leave that at that, sixes, because I think that that's pretty concrete and pretty clear. And I don't want to confuse issues by continuously talking. I'm shuffling the cards right now for those of you sixes who are looking for work in the month of January, and let's see what we have for you. Okay. Now this is a little bit contrary to your month. You have, so let's figure this out. You're in the month of 7, which kind of means stay still, don't make any drastic moves or decisions, kind of wait and see. And yet I have a card for those of you who are not employed, or maybe for those of you who are looking for a job change, or for those of you who have been offered something by someone else, or something finally comes through, an offer comes through. I have here where you voluntarily move away from one position. You're not fired or let go. You voluntarily leave in pursuit of something else. Now, let's say this happened last month, or this happened 2 months ago, and you're still kind of waffling out there and waiting for something else to come to be. I'm not getting here yet that I feel like you have a big decision coming up. And maybe some of you haven't left yet, and that's what the big decision is. And I would suggest to you not to leave or not to make radical changes if you haven't already, because I have the Chariot card, and it's like you don't know which way to go. You're not sure yet. You know you want to make changes and moves, and maybe meet with HR and say, I don't want to do this same job. You've passed me over, 3 times for a promotion, and so now I'm going to move on, or, whatever. Hold off on that if you haven't done it already, because if you have done it already, there's nothing wrong with that. Nobody's saying that that's wrong. They're just saying that the rest of the world or the rest of your plan isn't ready yet for you to scoop you up and get you started someplace else. So if you're looking for work, we're talking about sixes who are looking for work. I feel like I don't feel like, I know, but I also feel, in addition to what the cards are saying, I feel like you've been very scattered and not exactly knowing which decision to make, in which direction to go. And do I stay in the same career, or do I stay in the same state or location? What do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Well, since I can't make up my mind, I'm going to throw, all caution to the wind and maybe just take whatever job that comes my way, or, something along those lines. And I feel like the best thing for you to do is try to be clear on what you want in this month of January before you make any moves. And I think that that's the bottom line. Now, this reading is kind of contradicting Well, no, I guess it's not, because 7 is stay still. And I think these cards are saying, if you haven't already made a move, stay still. But for those of you who have, or whether you've left or whether you've accepted something, I just don't think that's the end of the situation. I think that there's more for coming your way and better opportunities coming your way after January, if you're looking for that job. So if you did go ahead and accept something, you just may not stay there for a long time, because you may realize that, oh my God, no, I really wanted this, or another opportunity comes your way. So just try not to be hasty in this month of January. Okay, that was a bit of a workout, that reading, and I'm going to leave it as is so I don't, God forbid, confuse you more. Let's take a look for those of you 6s that are in a relationship. Let's take a look at how that relationship is going in this month of 7 for you, in this month of January. Okay, let's just take a quick peek at something here. I'm going to just keep on going. Okay, so let's take a look. You're in your most romantic year. I do just want to see... Okay, I do just want to see something. Okay, so, very good. You are in a relationship. Let's take a look, 6s, at how this is going for you. Okay. 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 I have some flux here for you 6s who are in a relationship in this month of January. I don't really feel like it's going in a direction that you really want. And I have a feeling that even though you might decide to lay low this month of January, see where things fall, see what happens, I feel like that your partner may go ahead and make a decision that distresses you in this month of January. But I feel like you're coming from a place of angst. The two of you maybe have been head to head over various issues or conflicts that you've known about. You can't seem to, according to what I have here, some of you can't seem to come to a place where you're completely happy and perhaps where they're completely happy. And what I feel like is that they may make the decision to walk away from you in this month. And I feel like for this month of January, you might just sit back and let that happen, because you want to see, is that how they feel? Where exactly do I stand? And will they come back? Will they return? Now, there's a good chance that this isn't completely over for those of you who are in a battle of some kind in a relationship, because your month of endings is not until March, and then new beginnings would be April. Now, when you're in this year of 6, you may be having some turmoil over commitment issues, living arrangements, things like that, where it doesn't fall into place for you until that April time frame and work out, and you may be in this tug of war up until then. Not my suggestion, but I'm the messenger for the universe for you here, and the suggestion I feel like is, if somebody feels like they need to leave, let them see what it feels like. Let them see what it feels like when you're not beating down the door or chasing them, and you give them some time to think. Now, if we were doing a private reading, I would attempt to pull more cards to see what was going to happen, because my client would say what's going to happen. But I'm not guaranteed an answer even in a private reading, because the universe may not want you to know. It will only give you information that it wants you to know. And it may want you to feel what it feels like not to have that person around. And oh, wouldn't we feel so much better if we knew for sure that it's all going to work out? Or got that kind of reinforcement from a reading or from friends or from whomever. And that's just not what you're meant to know, 6. So you're meant to let things go the way they go and sit back and try to give that person some space and whatever this conflict is. And if it's not about a breakup and, you're married or engaged or something, but there is a head-to-head mission about something, like what if it's a conflict about your partner wants to take a job and it's a distance and they have to live away from home during the week and only come home on weekends, kind of thing. It's a message to you of just sit back, let them do what they feel they have to do, and let them feel it for themselves, what it feels like when you go on living your life and they're not a part of it every day. And you're not weeping and crying and kicking. And when they call, you're like, oh, yeah, hi. Up, yeah, I have to go. My dinner's ready. Bye-bye. Let them see. What does it feel like? Okay, 6s. Wow, we're conniving here today. But of course, if it's really your true feelings, you're not conniving. You're just being yourself. So we're going to shuffle these cards and we're going to ask about, what about you 6s looking for love in this month of January? And let's see what we get. Ooh, okay. Oh my gosh. It's the same thing. It's letting someone come to you. Wow. So I feel like there's been some real fickleness for those of you 6s looking for love. And again, oh my gosh, it's the same message. I have the best card that you would possibly want coming into being. And that is that true love, that relationship you've always wanted. Oh my goodness, how exciting. But you're not pushing it. Because I feel like you've been getting mixed signals. You've been getting mixed signals from the universe. Like, why do you keep sending me the same, duds? People who don't want to commit. Or you've been getting mixed signals from the universe because you're on apps and computers and you're talking to people and all of a sudden they fall off the face of the earth. Or you're in person, you've been chatting with someone and suddenly you don't see them at the same places, like say at the gym and your usual spots and so on and so on and so on. And you sit back and you say, in this month of 7, all right, let the chips fall where they may. I'm not going to push it. I'm not going to push them. In this issue of love, I am just not going to work so hard. And boom, here we have it coming to you. Oh boy, that's exciting, 6s. So good for you. And I say we leave it at that, because that's really, really nice. And in this month of 7, the advice to you across the board from the universe is let it ride and wait and see. Now, you can think 6s, of any question you would like right now, and think about, it can be about romance again, it can be about work again. It can be about something completely different, and I'm going to pull out cards about what's the best outcome we can expect from that question. Now, it's even worth pausing here to really think of your question and be as specific as possible. Then you'll take my answer and tweak it so that it fits your question, except you won't be changing the outcome. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Let's pull out a card here. Let's pull out a card here. And let's pull out a card here. And here we go. What this looks like to me, sixes, is that you will not get the outcome that you want, number one, right away, and without doing some more work. It is not going to be as easy peasy as you'd like. Now, it looks to me like you're coming to the end. I know you are, because I have 2 9 cards here. 9 is the end of your cycle. And that means you're coming to the end of the problem. In the month of January, you're in 7. As we said, March will be 8, and April will be 9. So April is the ending of things for you in this year. It's got the biggest thrust of endings for you in April. So it looks to me that this is very similar to all of your other reads in this month. I'll preface with that, because what I have happening is the Fool card. Now, you're not a fool. But what the Fool card represents is that you say, okay, I've had it with the hardship, I've had it with the frustration of whatever this issue is, and I've got to trust that I've put everything in motion that I can to make this problem work. I've joined every dating club. I've put every application of jobs out there that I can. I've talked to every person that I can in the family about or relationship about what I need or what I want. I put it all out there. And now I'm going to go ahead and try to live my life and try to do the things that I enjoy doing while I wait for an outcome of this issue. There's also a hint in here about worrying about others outside of yourself. Like, it may not be your relationship. It might be a friend. It might be one of your kids. It might be other employees at work, whereas they're going to be cut. And you've done what you can to try to keep them in the budget. And now you kind of got to let go and move on with yourself and your own life, and stop tripping yourself up and trying to help everybody else or make a solution. Help yourself and make a solution come to a conclusion, because it's on its way, but it just may not be time yet. It may be a couple more months until everything is very neatly tied with a bow. Okay, sixes, all of that said, have a wonderful January in 2020. I will see you next month in February. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I'd love to have you. And also, anything you'd like to know about me or to get in touch with me, hop on to gemmaswindow@gmail.com. Thanks a lot, sixes. Until next time.